Hello everybody, this is Tim again, here to do a review for Lost Boys 2, The Tribe. Now this sequel came out years later after the original. Was it really needed? No. Is it a terrible film in my opinion? If you really enjoyed the style of the first Lost Boys and like really grooved to what that film was doing, you'll probably hate this film. In my opinion, I like to judge films for what they are and what they're bringing to the table. I think this is a passable film. I'd give it like a low 2 stars. I think it's a passable B movie film. In the film, you got the new vampire group. They're not as interesting or as cool as the ones from the original, and they're mostly annoying. They come off like annoying teenagers. They're extreme sports guys, and this one, like the dudes from Point Break, they love to surf, which I thought was a good, interesting change for the franchise, something different from the first film. I didn't mind that. The new characters in the film, you got a brother and sister. The dude in the movie is like the guy that played Stifler's cousin in American Pie Bandcamp. He's passable in the film. Sometimes he's okay. He's not bad. None of the actors here are really bad. Well, Angus Sutherland is bad. He sucks. He was hired just because he's the half-brother of Kiefer Sutherland. He is bad. At his best in the movie, he's passable, but he is bad in this. Pretty much, this movie suffers from repeating too much from the original. You got a brother and sister in this film instead of 2 brothers, which I thought was a nice change-up. They're pretty much trying to recruit the girl into the group. And Shane Powers, which is the name of the main vampire guy, is like a surfer, extreme sports dude. He wants to turn her into a vampire and have her be his woman, but at the same time he needs to recruit her brother into the group to help sway her into joining. He infiltrates the group with help from Edgar Frog. This movie sorely missed Corey Haim's presence. A real sequel to The Lost Boys, in my opinion, should have been Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, and the other Frog brother as a trio of vampire hunters going after vampires and infiltrating a vampire group on their own. I would have loved that. That would have been a great sequel, in my opinion. As is, this movie has some bad, low-budget shots, but for the most part, it looks all right. It has some good special effects sequences of vampires dying. One of them turns to marble and explodes. You get an okay, alright scene of them like being in a police chase and like riding on skateboards and stuff. It's not too bad. You get a funny Tom Savini cameo at the beginning where it turns out he's a vampire, but the other kids are also vampires too, and they kill him. It's the gang of vampires in the film. Corey Feldman doesn't get to do enough in the movie, and it didn't have enough ties to the original, in my opinion. We get to the end, though, and Corey Feldman's taking out the vampires, and I like the joke. He says that I'm an ordained priest. I went online and clicked ordain me, and I automatically became a priest. They sent me like a certificate in the mail. That was funny. When they get to the end, he's taking out the vampires left and right. I had some fun out of it, but the ending just doesn't have the big oomph of the last movie. The first movie, the vampires were killed at the end, but then there was an even more powerful master vampire. Here, Shane Powers, the surfer dude vampire, he gets took out, and after that, the movie's just over. That's it. That's the end of the movie. He's the head vampire. There's no twist like the original, and it's just done. All in all, and I like Corey Feldman's final joke. He's like, "You'll be getting a bill for my services." That was funny. It's a passable film. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's a totally different style than the first film. It's over-the-top gore. It doesn't have the classy or the sexiness of the first film, but it's got some over-the-top good gore effects and good special effects. It's not a terrible film. There's some good shots. It does suck for some portion of the film, but all in all, as a whole, it's a passable, lower grade sequel film. It's not the worst thing I've seen. I'd rather watch this than most of the Children of the Corn sequels. It's not an absolutely terrible film. It just suffers from that sequel cliche of repeating too much from the original. This film could have been much better, and I'm surprised that it took so long to do a sequel to Lost Boys. The first film is immensely popular. Yeah, all in all, passable flick, and I'll see you guys again with Lost Boys: The Thirst.